Good morning to you. I'm here having my coffee and enjoying my morning. It's been a very good morning, and they're giving bad storms for us here in my neck of the woods. So, I ask that if you have to be out traveling somewhere, be careful. Make sure that you are weather aware today, because it needs to be said. I'm reading this book, and the title of it is The Measure of a Man, and it's by Martin Luther King Jr. We're getting ready to celebrate on Monday Martin Luther King Day, and we set that aside for a holiday. And it's a very short book. It's not a very long book, but it's a very short read. But it's two sermons put together that he devotionals that he gave at the I'll read it. The book was first published in 1959. This pair of meditations by the revered civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. contains the theological roots of his political and social philosophy and nonviolent activism. Eloquent and passionate, reasoned and sensitive. At the first National Conference on Christian Education in the United Church of Christ, that's the United Church of Christ, held at Purdue University in the summer of 1958, Martin Luther King presented two notable devotional addresses at that conference. Moved by the dear and persuasive quality of his words, many of the 3,000 delegates to the conference urged that the meditations be made available in book form, so that the delegates that was there, they wanted to make sure that that they would be available for all people to read in generations to come. So, and it's I'm glad that they done that. I read that, and it's a remarkable book. But let's read on. But they 3,000 delegates to the conference urged that the meditations be made available in book form. They wanted a book for their own libraries and were eager to share Dr. King's vital messages with fellow Christians of other denominations. And I am so glad. I love to read books from different political and religious leaders. I love to read books. I love to read fiction, nonfiction. I love to read them all. I'm just a book person. I'm a bookworm, I guess you could say. But anyway, yeah. They wanted that in book form, and they wanted to share it. And I want to concentrate on that for just a minute. If you see a book that is that you enjoy reading, my number one philosophy is I'll never share a book if I don't read it first. But if I read it and I like it, I share it. But I will not share something that I don't read. Keep that in mind. You might say, well, you pick up a book at a library or something, and you're like, oh, I think I'll get this for so-and-so to read. They're a reader. Well, go through it first and read it first, because some people are, I guess, if it could contain stuff that they're offended by. Okay, like for instance, this one book. A friend of mine, somebody shared with him a book, and he was reading it, and it had a curse word in it. So, he didn't like it. That's what I'm talking about. Be careful about that. But anyway, it's good to share. I love to share books, and this is one that I would definitely share with other people. This is something that I would definitely order off of Amazon, off of Thrift Books, or off of Barnes and Noble. This is one that I would actually order and put in my library for other people to read and to loan out to other people. It's one that I would want to keep in my library because it's a very, very good two good devotionals that he had written. But anyway, they wanted to share that, and I don't think I shared the book on my YouTube page yet, but there's one book. I'll probably be sharing it in a couple of weeks. But the author was talking about somebody had read his book, and then they went and bought like 50 of them, and a whole bundle of them, and to give out to people around at the nursing homes and stuff. And that's awesome. Okay. Anyway, but they wanted to share. The people of the United Church of Christ wanted to share that with their fellow brothers and sisters in other denominations. And the resolute struggle of American to achieve complete acceptance as citizens and neighbors. The author is recognized as a leader of extraordinary resourcefulness, valor, and skill. His concern for justice and brotherhood in the nonviolent methods he advocated and uses based serious commitment to the Christian faith. In his meditations, the book suggests Dr. King regards meditation and action as invisible functions of the religious life. We think seriously in the presence of the Most High when we sincerely go up to the mountain of the Lord. The sure event is that he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. Isaiah 2 and 3. But the title of the book again, if you have Hoopla, many libraries have Hoopla now. Around in my neck of the woods, they have Hoopla. If your library has Hoopla, you can find this on Hoopla. But again, the title of it is simply, and I'll let you see that one more time. Martin Luther King got his Jr. He's got his picture on there. The title of it is "The Measure of a Man," and I won't give away none of it or read none of it. I will not do that because I would like for you to read it for yourself because it's very, very important book. I read it all in one day because in one sitting I sat down and from like last night from like 6 o'clock till I don't know, from 6 o'clock until about 9 o'clock, I was busy reading that book. I mean, I was busy dwelling upon that book. And today I've been dwelling on that book a lot, and I'll do that after I read a book. I'll dwell on that book for a little while. Let's look up Barnes and Noble, and we'll see if Barnes and Noble does have the book. How much? I've got actually some people in my life that I would love to send this to. But the first one he talks about hold on here. Let's try this again. Let's see here. I'm looking up Barnes and Noble to see if they have it, and they do for $5.99. They have it for $5.99. They have it in in paperback, and they also have it in hardcover. So there appears to be maybe two, well, same kind of book, same book, same thing, just maybe an updated version of it. But again, it's $5.99 on Barnes and Noble, which is awesome. I encourage you, if you read books, this is one book I'm going to probably order a couple of these books and to share with my friends, and I really, really love it. I really, really love it. And the first one, he goes through the Psalms, and I'll just kind of touch base on what the book is. He goes, Psalms chapter 8 is what the first devotional kind of covers, okay? And then in the second one, that devotion, that part of the book, he writes about Revelation. And the length, breadth, and height of New Jerusalem, and you can find that in the Revelation. I just wanted to make sure that I was telling you right. Revelation 21. So he concentrated on Psalms 8 and Revelation 21 on the second one, and he brings that revelation, he brings it together in a way that I've never heard, in an illustration I'd never heard before, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I encourage you, if you're out there and you want something to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. On his holiday, if you want something to, I think it might be his birthday actually, but if you want something to honor him, and I would recommend getting that book. I've read several books, but I've never read one about, I don't think I've ever read one about his sermons, so or his devotions. So I love that. I love that. I really do. So with that being said, I hope y'all are doing all right, and I recommend that book. And I'll show you the picture one more time before I head off here. And I hope y'all stay safe. A lot of y'all get a 3-day weekend this weekend with the storms rolling in. I'm very sure some of y'all might get maybe more than a 3-day weekend with the snow coming in. If you're teachers or school bus drivers or teacher's aide or something of that nature, very sure if we get the weather coming in, they may not have school. But anyway, here it is. Dr. Martin Luther King and The Measure of a Man. I really highly recommend that, and thankful to the United Church of Christ that they shared that, and they put that in book form. And so many times, people, they won't even think about putting stuff in book form. And churches, they'll have people that writes poems, poetry, maybe devotions, and they don't think about putting it in book form, and sometimes that gets lost through the years. So it's very important. It's a part of our history, and I love it. Let's see here. I encourage you all to stay, like I said, stay safe this weekend. Share this video if you enjoy this video. Share this video and like it. Let's love each other. That's what Martin Luther King Jr. would have wanted, to love each other, to care for each other. And in the book, he talked about the Good Samaritan who stopped to help his neighbor along the way. Let's be a good Samaritan. Let's help our neighbors. Let's love our neighbors. Let's not pass up somebody who needs a kind word or a smile or just an encouraging thought. Let's always be kind and loving to each other, because in this life that we live, we got to make the best of it. I want to leave positive things out there for the kids out there coming up behind me. I want to leave positive things out there for them, my nieces and nephews. I want to leave positive words, positive kindness to them, and lead by action and example. You know what I'm saying? Hatred has no place in especially a Christian's heart. If they're out there and they're talking hatred and hatred speech, they're not Christians. It's just as simple as that. I don't believe that, because it's no place in a child of the Lord's heart. But anyway, let's love each other, encourage each other. Where you see hatred at, I got a question. We have an organization here in my area. They call it the Green Dot Initiative. And what that is where you see something bad, maybe hatred, maybe somebody being bullied, you put a green dot there. You green dot that. And each time you do a good deed, you green dot that. And in other words, you go to them, you encourage them, and you don't condone that behavior. You know what I'm saying? You're against that behavior. Somebody belittling somebody else, you don't condone that behavior. It's a green dot there. In that place. So I thought that was pretty good. And but anyway, let's encourage one another. Let's be kind. Let's be loving. God bless you all. And read that book and like and share. Bye-bye.